At the end of Into the Wild, Christopher McCandless, who had gone into the wild by himself, realizes that life is best lived by sharing it with others. He learned the hard way, the lesson that the Stoic Seneca had saved to posterity many centuries earlier. There is no enjoying the possession of anything valuable unless one has someone to share it with. With this lesson finally learned, he abandons his plan of living off the land completely alone and opts to rejoin civilization. On his way out of the Styx, however, he finds the frozen river he crossed when arriving in the winter has since melted with the season and is too violent to cross in the spring. He has no choice but to go back and live off the land until either the winter freezes it again or he can figure out some other way back to civilization. Back at camp, he's out foraging and eats some sweet wild peas. After waking up the next day feeling horrendous, he realizes that the plant he ate is poisonous and that he will be dead inside of a day. He has no way of treating it and knows it's going to be incredibly painful the whole time. This is a brutal way to die, no? But I have a question for you. Would you rather die quickly or no like this and have time to sit there with it? The obvious choice is to die quickly. Julius Caesar himself said an unexpected death is preferable to any other, likely because it means you get to move into the afterlife without too much time to reflect on it. No fear, just a simple transition into the next stage. But personally, I think if you have advance warning like this, even if it would be miserable, you'd get so many insights that it would be worth it. If you know you're going to die, you get to go through the stages of grieving, bargaining, denial, anger, and then you get to go into acceptance and you're still there. Once you're on the other end of that acceptance, can you imagine the beautiful insights you would get? When you have your own death in front of you, you've accepted your mortality completely. What are you focused on? Is it anger? All those grudges you have? Is it how you should have spent more time on the internet arguing with strangers? Maybe. One of the reasons people don't want to see psychics is because they don't want to hear any bad news. If I'm going to die in 2 years, they say, I don't want to know that. I've literally heard someone say this before. Eva! Excuse me. But what we seem to neglect with the psychics telling us the clock is ticking is that the clock has been ticking for your entire life. Since the moment you came into this world as a little baby, you had an expiration date. You are going to die. This is not a drill. You're cooked. You already have a timeline. You just don't know the exact date. But what does that matter? It's important to think about your death because it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. You have a limited amount of time on this earth. What are you going to do with this time? You may have more than a day or two, like Christopher McCandless, but you may not. Your clock is ticking regardless. How do you want to spend your time? Do you want to be angry, resentful, judgmental, or do you want to let go of all that and pursue something that feels valuable to you? Maybe the letting go of all that is the meaningful pursuit. Do you want to feel paralyzed by the risk inherent in that thing that you want to do? Or do you want to live a little and yeet all of your money into altcoins?
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. The choice is yours, because whether you focus on it or not, you already ate the poison berries in your mom's womb, which sounds kind of like an insult, but it's not. The clock is already ticking. This exercise is very valuable, reflecting on what it is you want to do with the time that you have left, as it will help you with consciously determining how to spend your finite resource of time. Think of yourself as dead, says Marcus Aurelius. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly.